Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So we've been decoding Mamwich, changing to Manwich. Um, we got our residue as evidence for the change, got our extractions to run through all the categories, found the University of New Mexico as our potential quantum network suspect. Um, converted our extractions into numerology numbers, got that to run through all the categories. We connected the University of New Mexico to Manwich through gematria, and then used gematria to connect University of New Mexico and Manwich to the other 14 for a total of 15 effects we've connected so far using gematria. We then converted our extractions into simple binary, got that to run through all the categories. We then converted to the alphabetic order, and we got that to run through all the categories, and now we're on random hits. Random, just whatever's there randomly. So, with Manwich, the only thing that happened is an M changed to an N. And we used this chart to change M into 13 and N into 14. So that you have 1314. And now we're random. We're doing random. So if we start with 13 going forwards, you end up with goal 13, I believe it is. Goals. Goal 13. Climate action. And this is from Sustainable Development Goals from the United Nations. Welcome to the United Nations. 2019 was the second warmest year on record and the end of the warmest decade ever recorded, so they say. Carbon dioxide levels and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere rose to new records in 2019, so they say. Climate change is affecting every country on every continent, so they say. It is disrupting national economies and affecting lives. Well, no, they're disrupting national economies and affecting lives. The United Nations is not inanimate things. Weather patterns are changing. So, sea levels are rising and weather events are becoming more extreme. Well, when you're using weather manipulation, that tends to happen, which they are. Although greenhouse gas emissions are projected to drop about 6% in 2020 due to travel bans and economic slowdowns resulting from this allegedly plan, DMIC, the improvement is only temporary. Now, I find it interesting that they're claiming greenhouse gas emissions are projected to drop 6% due to travel bans and economic slowdowns blamed on this, which is actually them. So, once again, pushing their agenda. Climate change is not on pause. Once the global economy begins to recover from this, the emissions are expected to return to higher levels, so they say. Saving lives and livelihoods requires urgent action to address both this and climate emergency, so they say. The Paris Agreement, adopted in 2015, aims to strengthen the global response to the threat of climate change, so they say, by keeping a global temperature rise this century well below 2 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial levels. The agreement also aims to strengthen the ability of countries to deal with the impacts of climate change through appropriate financial flows, a new technology framework, and an enhanced capacity building framework. So, Goal 13 of the UN agenda. I don't know what else there is to say about that. We're going to move on to 131. And that's right here. I-131 application for travel document. So this deals with application for traveling. So I don't think we need to get into that. And we'll move on to 3.1. And how about DA Form 31, Army Publishing Directorate. And this deals with request and authority for leave. All right. I don't know what more there is to say about that. This deals with the Army and a request for leave. So if we move on from that, you got 3.14. And you have Chapter SPS 3.14, fire prevention from the Wisconsin State Legislature. So this deals with law about fire prevention. And there's your 3.14. So there's more law. I think we need a law category, a legal category, as well as if somebody didn't watch my last video, the technology, you might want to watch it. There were some telltale stuff in 13.13. When it comes to quantum computing, they listed at least 3 of our categories and gave us a couple more to look at. So, but law would be another one that keeps coming up over and over. Case in point, moving on, 1314. Whoops. And 1314, how about 33 U.S. Code 1314, Information and Guidelines. State list of navigable waters and development of strategies not later than 2 years after February 4th, 1987. 43 U.S. Code 1314, rights and powers retained by United States, purchase of natural resources, condemnation of lands. So you got a couple laws in here, a couple of U.S. codes. And that gets you through going forward. Now we're coming back. Start with 41, coming back. How about Rule 41, dismissal of actions? So this deals with more legal stuff. Legal Information Institute. Rule 41, dismissal of actions. So a little more legal stuff going on there, but I'm not going to get into it all. We're going to move on to 413 and 413. There's area codes that they could, in theory, look up anything in the 413 area code, but also 26 U.S. Code 413, collectively bargained plans. And also 42 U.S. Code 413, quarter and quarter of coverage. So you got a couple more U.S. codes here. And we're going to move on from that to the whole thing coming back, 4131. And you have 26 U.S. Code 4131, imposition of tax. There is hereby imposed a tax on any taxable jab sold by the manufacturer, producer, or importer thereof. So, once again, Legal Information Institute, 26 U.S. Code 4131, imposition of tax, deals with jabs. So, 75 cents per dose of any taxable jab. And that gets you through going forwards and backwards in random. So we would be done and moving on to South America, but while we're here, next, I'm going to combine these letters and numbers. And just to a certain point, we may go MN 1314 ACM ADN, and then maybe 134145, and then maybe we'll go for MN45 DMV ENW, and maybe this number. I'm not sure, guys. I'm going to figure this out. We're not going to do all this down here, or we're not going to do all this down here, because that would just be too long. But I'm thinking maybe 2 letters, 2 numbers, and we'll just try to randomly get a sequence, and then we'll run it through the categories and see what's there, and maybe take a look at an equation or two. I don't know if I'm terribly qualified to write, any equations that are going to be useful, but we'll see. We'll see what I can come up with, but we are going to run alphanumerical and go to a certain point and see what's there. We already know stuff is there. We ran a couple, but maybe 2 letters, 2 numbers or something. 2 numbers, 2 letters, 3 and 3, 2 and 3, something. We'll figure something out, and we will run that next, and then we will move back on to South America. So I think it would be prudent to try that while we're here, this alphanumerical. And once again, this calculation would just keep going and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, infinitely. So, but we can't do infinite, but we can pick a finite place to stop and see what's there. So that's what we're going to try next. So for now, guys, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down when appropriate. Thanks for all your comments, leads, feedback, and subscriptions. And thanks for watching, guys. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.